The British royal family, they survived the Black Death. Surely all this carry on about an existential crisis is totally overblown.
Yeah, I don't know where this is coming from. As I said, they do endure. In fact, Caroline, I think they're going to come out of this stronger. What's really interesting is that King Charles wanted a slimmed-down monarchy, and what we're actually seeing is this very unified group of people working together. They've been incredibly transparent about their medical issues, and in a sense, that's rebranding them from the royal family that the Queen oversaw. This is about being open. It is about being honest about what's going on for you, but about that, we always talked about the Fab Four being Meghan, Harry, William and Kate. Now I think it's very much William and Kate, Charles and Camilla. They're very aligned. We know that the King had lunch with Kate the day before she gave her announcement that she had cancer. And when people experience something really when something makes you focus on your mortality, I think that really makes you think about what is important. And I think this family knows they are first and foremost a family, but they are also an institution. And I think that the security of that will be foremost in their minds. And I think they'll be tighter than ever, which will mean that they're more aligned and we won't see the scuttlebutt, that we've seen in the past.
I think that's an excellent observation. And Pandora, off the back of what Angela's just said, when Princess Catherine, that video she released last week, there was some criticism amongst the commentariat that she sat for that video alone without Prince William. Now, we understand that was her preference. Is that right?
Yeah, it very much was her preference. She wants to control the narrative after weeks of speculation about her own health. Why should she sit next to her husband? And this is actually very reflective of the monarchy and a modern monarchy moving forward, and also a reflection of her as a wife and a mother, and telling her own story, despite the fact that she had all of the different headlines and social media madness, which was in Kensington Palace's own words. They did say that, surrounding her health and all the conspiracy theories online. She was there standing by herself, as Charles said, a beloved daughter-in-law, very much telling the nation and around the world exactly what has been happening. And I suppose a polite reminder now, which is why we've not seen her at the church service, the chapel service today in Windsor, without her children, that she now needs privacy to go through this tremendously difficult time.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. And Angela, this week, and moving on to the Sussexes, the UK Telegraph has surmised that Britain's bid for the Invictus Games puts the royal family in a tight spot. And look, I understand, I appreciate, given what's transpired, it is very difficult for Harry to fit into the royal family landscape. But even in this minor capacity?
Look, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, of course, he's going to be there next month. May. He's going to be there for the 10th anniversary Invictus service. And he's making a bid. The UK wants to make a bid, 10 years after the very first Invictus Games. They want to hold it there again. They're up against Washington, D.C. And the question is, how much will the royal family be involved? When the initial games were held, William, Camilla and Charles were all there in support of Harry. I think they'll be bigger than this. This is these games are for military veterans. I don't think the King particularly would be so churlish to not get involved. I think maybe we won't see William and Kate, but we may see the Tyndalls involved. They're very sports focused. I think they could be aligned with Harry and Meghan with the Invictus Games, but I don't think the King will snub it. That said, they've got to win the bid first, so it's a little way off. There's also, of course, the issue of security, and Harry always having this battle over security when he's at home. But I don't think it's going to be the crisis that it's being touted to be, at least in the short term.
No, I don't think it's going to be a crisis, but also these things are never as simple as they really should be. And Pandora, there were also reports this week that the King doesn't necessarily want Harry to return to the UK and hasn't provided for him in the family's succession planning. Now, is this scuttlebutt? Is this true? Can you run us through the details?
Yeah, I think this is a bit of speculation. Look, Put two and two together. Harry stepped down as a senior member of the royal family. He's not on great communication with his brother William, who would be in the line of succession to take over Charles when that time happens. Charles really wants to step up into his role as the monarch, and actually the last thing he wants to be spoken about at the moment is his succession, given the fact he's so early on in his reign. Will Harry be privy to private conversations about the working goings-on of the royal family afterwards? Most likely not. But do we know anything about those plans yet? Of course we don't, because they will be kept so under wraps because of the narrative that, you know, Charles wants people to know that he's getting on with the job, and that's the last thing that he would want people to be speaking about at the moment. But putting two and two together, no, I don't think Harry will be high up in terms of the priority list of the confidential information about the next goings-on within the working, I guess, pillars of the family right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies, thank you so much. Angela Mollard, Pandora Forsyth, thank you so much for joining us.